بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ الحمد لله. How was the Monday today? Good. Blue. Subhanallah. My beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, this week we look at a very interesting section. This week we look at the differences between men and women in the performance of their salah. And this is really interesting points because we'll find that we sometimes make minor mistakes. So inshallah I'll try and move through them as swiftly as possible. But please note, if you are a male, listen carefully inshallah. If you are a female, pay careful attention to what are the differences between the males and females in salah. So the author states, وَالْمَرْأَةُ تُخَالِفُ الرَّجُلِ فِي خَمْسَةِ أَشْيَاء, that ladies, women differ from men in 5 things in their salah, in their prayer. The first, that the man spreads his elbows out from his sides in salah, right? That the man raises his stomach from his thighs during his ruku' and his sujood. The man, I'll repeat that, raises his stomach, not with your hand. Some of us might need additional assistance, subhanAllah, but not with your hand. It is a gesture. You raise your stomach from your thighs during ruku', bowing and prostrating, sujood. Men also recite audibly, loudly when they are supposed to. Another important point, inshallah, very important educational point, that men, when they need to correct the imam in his salah or alert the imam to an error that had been made, the man will say Subhanallah. Now, importantly, we also say it with respect, inshallah. Not Subhanallah, We say it beautifully, but when a man says that in the salah, you are notifying the imam that an error had been made. And then the 5th point is, and another substantial point, is that on a technicality, the awrah of the man, as we know, is between navel and knees. But this is the absolute bare minimum, but not the recommended covering for salah. So for salah, we have awrah. Then we have the preferred attire or covering, and we have the lesser. So the preferred, of course, is that our bodies are covered completely. So if I use the thobe, the kurta, conventionally, that covers the full body and arms. That is the most preferred attire for salah. The slightly sort of lesser preferred, it's not yet on the stage of karaha, of it being makruh, but lesser preferred would only be that the sleeve shortens, but it should cover the shoulders. So over the shoulders, it's not detested, but this is lesser in your humility, your tawadu when you are in your salah. Now, on this point, I just want to remind males in particular, in this masjid, and whenever you perform salah, there's a common challenge, and that is if you are wearing a t-shirt, right? Long sleeve, a jersey, whatever it might be, and when you're standing, it covers your back. In other words, it goes over your pants slightly. But the challenge is in your ruku'. If someone arrives late, I'm sure many of you have seen it, people are in the ruku' and you can see their skin, meaning the awrah has been displayed. And that, of course, will bring the validity of the salah into question. And that is why you find at many masajid, here at Masjidut Taqwa and many others, they have coats hanging at the back. So a recommendation to anyone If you are going to a masjid and you're wearing a shirt or a t-shirt, in other words, it is not something that goes over your behind. This is in, of course, reference to males. Then rather put on a coat, because you wouldn't want the salah to be, lacking in its validity. And then if you are perhaps traveling or at the beach or wherever it might be and you are in a t-shirt, you find yourself in that situation, rather use a long sleeve top or whatever it might be, a hoodie, a jacket, and tie it around your waist to prevent the aura being displayed. Okay? And then I'll close with the lady, inshallah. So the lady, what are the characteristics now of the lady? We've heard what the men have to do, and we can deduce from that. So the first part for the lady is when the men, they of course push their elbows out from their sides and they raise their stomach from the thighs during ruku and sujood. The lady, on the other hand, must pull herself together. Okay, so she pulls herself together, particularly in ruku and sujood. Then ladies must lower their voice in salah, especially when they're in the company of or near to non-relatives. Okay, men that are ghair mahram. Ladies, if they need to inform the imam that a mistake had been made, they don't say subhanallah, they clap. Okay, but not in applause. Just one perhaps clap to alert the imam that a mistake had been made, because their voices are protected in salah. And then a lady, her bodily covering is in the Shafi'i madhab and in most one ruling that her entire body must be covered except her face and hands. So this is preferred. So in the instance of women who wear niqab, if you enter a section of a masjid or a place where there's definitely no chance of a man passing by or seeing, then it would be much better to raise the niqab to fulfill the original teaching. But if it is in an area where men could possibly see, then of course you practice upon those measures that secure it, inshallah. And then a final note that the saying of subhanallah by the men and the clapping of the hands by the ladies are done in three instances. First, to alert the imam to a mistake. Secondly, if it is that someone wants permission to enter a space, permission can be granted according to a few scholars in this manner. So let's say if you are in your home, whatever it might be, permission can be granted in this manner. And then thirdly, if you need to alert a blind person to a danger. So if you are in your salah and there is a blind person and you want to alert him, this measure can also be followed. Jazakallah khairan wa sallallahu wa sallam alayhi wa rabbil alamin.